it doesn't take much to confuse me. But Justin Trudeau, he's one of the people who, when he speaks, he's never towing the same line each time that he talks.
I'll be blunt as well. Housing isn't a primary federal responsibility. Important as you build not just homes for Canadians, but homes that you're going to be able to see yourselves living in as well. That's an important part of this, that it's not just about building homes and great buildings and apartments to rent. It's about making sure that nurses, construction workers, teachers who work in a given city can also live in that given city.
He's always trying to push this agenda or that agenda, or creating something that isn't really there. Like the other day when he was being interviewed, he said that Canadians are not in a decision-making mood. Like, Canadians are always making decisions. They're always in the mood for decision making. You know, we have to decide whether or not we go to work on a hot day, whether we fill our cars full of fuel, whether we want to support the polls when we're asked about the polls. Canadians are always on the precipice of making decisions all the time. I think, well, we'll have a listen to what Justin Trudeau said about this, and then after he says it, he does a little bit of his waffle, and then I think I know where his mind is, and we'll look at that in the second part of the video. Let's have a listen to this first.
I mean, the country is still angry. You can see it in the mood. And increasingly, Prime Minister, a lot of them are mad at you, right? I know you say you want to beat Pierre Poilievre. You keep coming back to that. But what if you are the reason the Liberals can't beat the Conservatives in the next election? Where do you factor that into your thought process?
Well, I think, first of all, Canadians are not in a decision mode right now. You know, what you tell a pollster, if they ever manage to reach you, is very different from the choice Canadians end up making in an election campaign. And fundamentally, and it's not just Canada, but everywhere around the world, and indeed I was talking with other leaders at the G7 and in Switzerland at the Peace Conference for Ukraine, everywhere people are struggling with high inflation, with cost of living issues, with interest rates, with housing challenges, with childcare challenges, all these things. We are doing better than many countries. Doesn't make a difference to someone who can't pay for their groceries, but the way people are everywhere facing a certain amount of frustration. And I truly believe that as we choose to step up on solving those challenges.
Challenges that the Liberals have spent 9 years creating, remember?
To contrast with a political vision that so far consists from the Conservatives of just making people more angry and saying everything is broken, I know Canadians are pragmatic people who focus on solutions, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing.
So yeah, Canadians are not in a decision-making mood. Are you in a decision-making mood? So put it this way, are you in a mood that you could make a big decision tomorrow in an election? Could you do an election tomorrow? If you were given the option to do an election, would you go out and make a decision? Just leave a comment. Would you go and make a decision tomorrow about the government of Canada and maybe change the government of Canada? Or would you keep the one we've got now because you like what's going on now? You like higher taxes and all the things that Justin Trudeau brings to Canada, or should I say takes away from Canada. Anyway, in this next clip, this is where I think his mind is.
We have always been there to support Ukraine with what it needs. We are delivering light armored vehicles as we speak that Ukraine is in need of, and we continue to do training in many different locations. This is something that we will continue to be there for Ukraine on.
Yeah, I think not only is his mind on foreign affairs, he's pumping tons of money into foreign affairs too. And like the video we put out the other day about Justin Trudeau, where he's going to spend his money, he's so pushing to prop up the WEF and every other foreign entity that Canadians just, honestly, Canadians, they just don't stand a chance in Justin Trudeau's country. They just do not stand a chance because he does not want to invest in Canadians.
We're also providing almost $127 million in loans and grants to support an equitable energy transition, specifically in South Africa.
And no matter how much money he wants to take from him, he would rather send that money somewhere else. Anyway, till next time.